All right, weekend sports betting tips championship weekend. Mr. Sean Higgs and Anthony from PoundedSports.com, along with Tooch, good old Tooch in the barroom. We are talking, man, college football action, NFL action, college football. But first, I got to, last 8 picks on the show were 7-1. It's a little pat on the back.
Not too shabby.
Not too bad, I'll tell you. Not too bad.
All you got to do is hit the like button, you derelicts.
Yeah, hit that like button. All right, so might as well just get right to it, right?
Yeah,
let's go right to it.
Let's go to Pac-12 championship tonight, starting up and firing up in a couple hours. Got Oregon number 5 versus the number 3 Washington Huskies, and I tell you,
somebody's being killed at Tooch's house.
I know. Someone's.
I thought you were at the sports book.
I know, I'm at the sports book. I got little kids in here, man. All right.
Someone was just told there's no such thing as Santa Claus, and all hell's breaking loose.
Well, we got White Shrek with us.
Yes, the White Shrek.
The White Shrek.
I gotta do that show later on.
I can't remember a top 3 team in the country is almost a double-digit dog. What does this line tell you, Sean?
It says to unload on Oregon. And don't even think about it. Even forget about that. It's up to 9.5. The fact that it opened at 7.5 would tell you to just Oregon is the side here. And like we were talking before we came on, and Anthony joined us. In Oregon, this line is 17 in Oregon. This game's in Oregon assigned 17, 18, 19 points. How do you feel about that? So obviously, again, the bookmaker, the odds guys, they know a little bit more than we do. And the talk was maybe Penix isn't healthy. Think about the last 8 games. They've struggled and they're kind of playing with fire a little bit. And now you got a team that you beat, but you were, they out-yarded you. Right? Oregon outplayed them at home, but you scored a win. Good game. What's changed since then that they'd be a 10-point underdog here? So let's just dig past that number and why it's a 10-point underdog. Don't overthink it. Ducks in a rout. Bo Nix solidifying his Heisman. And
Strongly disagree. I think this is a trick line. I think the books want you to take Oregon exactly for what you said. Take the total opposite. I'm on Washington. I already locked it in at 10.
But even at 7, it opened at 7.5. People would want to jump on Washington at 7.5.
I think the better bet, if you're interested in Oregon, take Oregon first half minus 6.5. That might be the better play. Or I got the over at 66.5, went down to 65.5, kind of kicking myself on that one. But I locked in Washington plus 10. I got a teaser with Washington with New Mexico State. I'm all over Washington. I think this is going to be another tight game. I don't think this is going to be a blowout by either team. Whoever has last possession probably wins this game.
Last game was a 3-point game, Washington in Seattle.
That was also in Washington, but it went back and forth. And I do believe
even the game last year's game was a 3-point game in Oregon. I watched it once. So double revenge and a line that opens at 7.5. Oh, this is a favorite chalk-a-rooney for me here.
Yeah,
I like the under, by the way. I do like the under this Oregon game.
A lot of points.
Sean Higgs, Mr. Chalk this weekend, because you're going to be seeing a lot of favorites under his name this weekend.
It happens sometimes.
But
I like the under too. But these teams average 61 points when they play each other.
I watched the Washington State-Washington game last week, and the only thing that concerns me about this game is Washington's defense. And Washington defense was just terrible on 39. 3rd and 13, first down. Cameron Ward was tearing it up, and I was like, oh, my gosh, this Washington defense, I thought they were good. They're not very good at all.
No.
So the over is, I can't take the under. There is no way I could take an under with a defense like that. So the only way Oregon covers is if Washington's offense does not show up. I'm not sold on Oregon's defense either. Who did they really beat? I mean, the only team they really went toe-to-toe was with Washington. This is by far their best offense besides USC. I see another high-scoring, tight game. Don't overthink it.
Oregon, the only loss they had, of course, was to Washington back on October 14th.
And it was 66 points.
Yep, they blew up Hawaii, Colorado, and Stanford. Blew out.
Shit teams.
Washington State, close game. They blew out Utah at Utah. That was a good game. I was on Oregon in that one. Cal, they put up 63 on Cal. They haven't played a really tough defense except Oregon State, and they blew them out last weekend.
And you got that ukulele crackhead on as quarterback. So I mean, there's no good offenses you're playing against except for Washington. And I don't know what the rumor is with Penix being hurt because I watched him. Like I said, I watched that game. He was not hurt at the end of that game. He was perfectly fine. He was very emotional after the game, but he was not hurt.
I mean, listen, they've played close games for the last 8 weeks.
Yeah.
They've played close games, and now you're playing a team that's better than all those teams.
I agree. This is the time to show up, though. I just don't see a blow. I just don't see a blowout. If it happens, it happens, but I'd rather have the 10 points in my back pocket.
I put in a bet this morning. Oregon first half team total over 19.5. Looking for some quick start and some points. Like the number they could get to 20. I'm good. 3 touchdowns, good. Liberty tied up 14-14 now. New Mexico State, that game is going on right now. That is what is that bowl or the championship there, Sean? The conference USA.
CUSA?
Yeah. Cayusa. CUSA Championship, Conference USA going on right now, 14-14.
I just can't with Conference USA, the American, just the movement of teams. I don't know who's where. Then you mix in, especially like college basketball now, it's like who's in the Summit, the Ohio Valley, they all kind of mix, Sun Belt. I'm like,
yeah,
aren't these guys over here? Like this, the CAA has like NCA&T and Hampton. I'm like, they used to be MEAC teams. You know,
I can't keep track.
Yeah.
It's totally different.
Oh, my goodness.
Tooch tells me, he's like, oh, this team. I'm like, what conference are they in again? I got to get in college basketball mode.
It's
the
tough, man.
Yeah.
I know.
It takes me until January.
Conference USA used to be a huge conference. There's like 5 teams in it.
Yeah.
You know, 6, whatever it is.
Marquette used to be in Conference USA.
Like the WAC is part of like, it used to be that there's like Conference USA teams in a WAC. I don't even know.
Yeah.
Oregon moving to the Big Ten.
Yeah, Big Ten.
So,
wow.
Washington too.
That'll be great. Yeah, that'll be great when they got to go play Rutgers.
Right, and USC also. Who's all leaving Who's all leaving the Pac-12?
Everybody except for Stanford's going to the ACC.
Okay, so there's no more Pac-12.
Yeah, Washington State and Oregon State are the Pac-12.
Okay, that's it.
So 2 teams. What is it?
And let me tell you something.
Independently again.
Someone said that like they could automatically get a bid to the bowls because they're champion. They could get into like a Rose Bowl or something.
Every year.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. They could really screw those other teams, as they should.
Wow,
as they should.
Interesting.
Stanford, that's really good. Stanford to Miami, Florida. That's great for an ACC game.
All right, Oklahoma.
Oregon to Maryland.
Yeah, that's a long road trip.
It doesn't make any sense. It's
like when they do that game. Like if they're playing like the schedule makers, are they going to send them to Oregon or to Rutgers or Maryland in back-to-back weeks, or are they going to have them go back and forth twice? Like think about even like Rutgers and that going out. That's just terrible for those teams. Hey, Clemson, you got to play for the ACC championship next week. Oh, by the way, this week you're in Stanford.
Yep.
Against Cal. You're playing Cal today. Joke. This freaking fly. There's a fly in my house.
All right, get to the next one. Sean's just going to keep going. Just get to the next game.
This is the last year Iowa will win Big
This
Ten
guy
West.
shows up late. He's on to me and you, Tooch. The Tooch.
You're still talking about Oregon. Get to the next game.
I was talking about the conferences we're talking about.
Once those teams move to the Big Ten, Iowa will never win another Big Ten West title.
No, they'll move to
No. No more. There's no more divisions. They're going just one team.
Okay.
Oh,
all right.
man.
Oklahoma State. Texas is leaving also. So Texas has a chance to go out on top, number 17. Oklahoma State started off the year rough. They're ranked 18th now. Stan Gundy and Ollie. Ollie Taylor?
Stan Van Gundy, isn't he? Yeah.
No. What's the coach's name?
Mike Van Gundy.
No. Oklahoma State's coach.
It's Van Gundy.
Is it?
Is it? Yeah, because Vrabels is at Oklahoma. It's Mike Gundy.
Good, well coached.
I'm a man. Look at my mullet.
Texas run defense. I mean, Oklahoma State's they rely on the run. Texas run defense is awesome. Sean's going to say this is Texas in a rout.
Yeah, and that's. I mean, let's just talk some. We were talking. We got the playoffs here. Texas is in a position where they can't even have a close game. And I hate laying this kind of. It opened at 11, and I guess it just got bet up because when you drop a 57 piece, people just think you're an awesome team.
Yeah,
I think it should be 14, 15. Maybe, listen, 13, maybe 11 was a little light considering. I thought Texas OU had a pretty good defense, and Oklahoma State's going to run into one right now. Let's see what they are. They had a big win, Oklahoma. And let's be honest, Texas almost won that Oklahoma game. They were there at the end, and then we saw Oklahoma lose a bunch of games. Their defense is not good. I'm not a huge Sark guy, but he did prove he won in Alabama. He won over there. He won that road game. Obviously, they lost to Oklahoma, but your chances are still alive. I think they take care of business here and go out on top here in their final Big 12 and head to the playoffs.
I like Oklahoma State, but they're overmatched in this game. That Texas defensive line is tough. Anthony, what do you think? It's Texas, Oklahoma State.
I like the points. Give me the points, but more importantly, I like the over here. Forget about the side. I love the over. The overs. If you're going to touch this game, forget about the side. I can easily see Oklahoma State sneak a backdoor cover in this, but over 54.5 is my favorite play out of everything.
I like it.
Last year, Oklahoma State 41, Texas 34, October 22nd last year. Totals sitting there at 54.5, opened at 54.5. Sean, no movement on the total.
That's still same. But I agree.
I still like the over.
Over.
My big thing is I think this is an overreaction from what Texas did last week.
Yeah.
This is the same thing what you're not supposed to do is think of the last game that the team played last week. Texas looked awesome. Oklahoma State didn't. Oh, Texas should win this easily. 14.5 points. Yeah, no problem. Give me Texas. And then Oklahoma State loses by 10. So I'd rather just play the over, and that's exactly what I did. Just give me the over.
So FanDuel has 54.5, but now it's 55.5.
I forgot what I got, but same very similar.
Today, people getting. We just made the line move, Sean.
Did it move?
The three of us up 1 point. No, I'm just kidding.
Within that set.
We had that. We had that kind of power, but
makes sense.
All right, here we go. Boise State and UNLV.
Holy crap, this total really went up. Holy crap!
Yeah, I know.
Thank God I locked my bets in yesterday. Wow.
So
whatever day it was.
Total 59.5.
I think I got 58. Holy, or
it opened at 58.5.
Okay, I got 58.
This is the Mountain West title, Boise State, UNLV. UNLV's been really good against the spread this year. They're 10-2 against the spread. Although last week they kind of laid an egg. Sean, we took them versus San Jose at home versus San Jose State, and they end up losing outright.
And everyone wants to run to like, oh well, look at their ATS record. Well, all right, that's fine and dandy, but that's has nothing to do with this game here. All right, that Barry Odom, great year, coach of the year type material.
Yeah, first year at UNLV. Yep.
I mean, I like Boise here. Boise's a better team. I mean,
love Boise.
It's record wise, everybody's going to run. Oh, look at this! It's UNLV. All right, head to head. Give me the other side here. I'll take Boise.
Yep, Boise in the over.
This is where's this game's at Allegiant Stadium, so it's in Las Vegas. So home game for the Rebels. I'm not impressed with Boise State, but it's a no play for me. I don't.
Boise is playing their best football of the year. They're red hot momentum.
Yeah,
they're at their peak. And
they've won 3.
Where you take a team where they're at their peak.
I mean, they fired their coach and they're in the line, and it's still going towards them. So obviously the players aren't like we're leaving. They seem to like the guy.
I'm kind of the last game UNLV played against San Jose State left a bad taste in my mouth. So just
but even the week before that, they barely won. So I mean, forget about looking against the spread. I mean, it comes down to matchups.
They were on the road at Air Force. They lost.
What team is playing best? What team is playing better right now? And that's Boise. That's current form. UNLV is going to get a punch in the face when they face Boise. They're going to not know what hit them. Boise's playing their best football of the year right now.
Yep.
Boise play. He's going on to run it. That's Boise's strength.
Yeah.
The pass defense on Boise is weak, but I mean they do have UNLV has got a decent passing.
It's gotten better as the season went on.
Passing offense, but I can't touch it. All right. What are we at now? We got. I didn't put MAC championship.
Don't worry about
in here because you guys hate the MAC.
I mean, again, I'd be on Toledo. Can Toledo cover a game?
I don't know.
Miami plays defense. You want to go under. It's it's a noon game. You don't have to bet. Everybody wants to bet every single game. You don't.
So look, Toledo's obviously the better team. They're highly efficient on both sides of the ball, but Miami, Ohio has got a good defense, and if they're going to win this game, they got to muck it up. They got to slow it down.
This is a 16-13 type game written all over.
I love the under in this game too.
What's the total?
It's gone down. It's like 43.5 now, but it opened at 46, I think.
I was going to say I could see probably a 27-20.
Opened at 46. It's 43.
I do think Toledo. I will see.
Open at 8, line 7.5 now. And this is
the perfect day. I know this is totally the opposite of what Sean's doing, but these are the type of games I hate to say, but you just got to take dogs right down the line. I hate to say it. The favorites just look way too easy, and that's the biggest red flag in these type games.
All right. App State and
Troy. Easy. Troy, next.
Veterans Memorial Stadium. This is the Sun Belt Championship.
Don't go against Troy.
Appalachian State has been hot, though, man. They've won 5 in a row, man. And then Troy has won 9 in a row.
Troy's amazing. Don't overthink it. It's Troy.
Head-to-head. Last year, September 17, 2022, Appalachian State 32, Troy 28. They haven't played this year. Sean, Troy, you're on Troy, I think, right?
Yeah, I like Troy. A little better defense. That's really just the reason why. I mean, they're kind of hot. Where they won 9 in a row, 7-2 against the number.
Yeah.
In that time frame, I just listen. You want to bet, so whatever. You don't have to bet it just because it's there. I have a bad number. I got a 6.5 at Troy, so I'm not really comfortable with that. So I'll leave it. And we'll see what happens. I'm not worried about it.
So Troy, believe it or not, his last 5 games has put up 28 or more points. Of course, they played the best team they played was Louisiana Lafayette and South Alabama in that stretch.
That's just but that's just their conference, though. You can't.
Common opponents. Appalachian State handed James Madison their first loss of the season, I think, November 18th, 28-23. So pretty good team, Appalachian State, man.
They had gone, I think, 6 straight bowls before, 7 straight. They were wasn't a bad. Didn't they go in and play Michigan tough, or who'd they upset? North Carolina, somebody. It's not like they're a tough little squad, but again, it's one of those things where the line opens up. I'm like, all right, are they begging me to go the other way? Maybe I was wrong because it did come down a point. But we'll find out tomorrow.
Tough game. Troy looks too easy to me. I'm gonna take Appalachian State plus the points. I hate it, but
Well, then, with your track record of picking dogs, I love Troy even more.
I know, right? Here we go. SMU Tulane. This is the American Championship, Sean.
The AAC.
AAC is American Athletic. Tulane, SMU, the number one team in the American Athletic. Tulane sitting number 2. Tulane 11-1. Southern Methodist 10-2. Head to head, they played last year. Tulane won 59-24. SMU's quarterback is out. He got injured last weekend, I think.
Broke his leg.
Navy. Broke his leg versus Navy. Yeah. That was a 59-14 win. Anthony and I sweated out the game against Rice with SMU. We thought we had a good
the backup quarterback, yeah.
With the backup quarterback. So, Sean, SMU, Tulane, you're on SMU. You got +4, I think, right?
Yeah. And again, with this, it's even come down, which is bizarre with a backup quarterback. But
yeah.
And what's there to say about Tulane? Their only loss was what, to Mississippi? They played, and that was a game that it got ugly towards the end, where with their own backup quarterback. So it wasn't even a great outing, and yet here they are as a small fave, and it's dropping.
The problem with Tulane is they play up to their teams.
They play down to their competition. Yep.
Yeah, they don't care who they play, bad. They will play toe-to-toe.
Who's that, Willie Fritz?
Huh?
The coach of Tulane?
Is that Willie Fritz?
Let me see.
He's notorious for being like that, I guess.
I've played enough Tulane games this
year,
and they just make you sweat. So I just started going against them or taking the over at one point. Tulane overs were hot at one point.
Yeah.
But I've been riding Smoo all year, and they haven't failed me, and I don't plan on them failing me yet. And you're going to give me 4 points.
Hold on, so you said Tulane overs were good or bad? You mean bad?
At one point.
They were bad.
They're 2-10 to the under this last.
I was going to say they had to be bad because they're 10-2 under.
Yep.
Okay, then they were under.
Maybe you're thinking reverse wise.
Yeah, probably reverse. Yeah. I know. I took them like 3
against the spread. They're 5-7, so they're not a covering machine. Tulane.
No. Look at these numbers: 38, 22, 20, 24. I mean, tough to cover 17s, and you win 13-10 as a 17-point favorite.
When they were 24-point favorite, 20.5-point favorite, they covered.
No, they didn't. They covered 24 versus Tulsa, 24-22, loser.
24 versus Temple, they covered.
Oh, that's the Temple doesn't count.
20.5 versus Tulsa, they covered, but that doesn't count either. North Texas, they covered 21.
They didn't cover Tulsa. They won 24-22, lane 24. Are you looking at Tulane? Who are you looking at?
Sorry, I'm looking at SMU. Sorry, I had the wrong one up.
I don't know. These guys don't cover. 20 versus Northern Texas. They win by a touchdown. 38 points.
The covering machine is SMU.
SMU, man. They're like the 49ers of college football. They just bulldoze and bully every team they go against.
Yes, all the bad teams they crush.
That's true. Yeah. Look what they did to Seahawks last week, and look what Seahawks came back this week. Punched the Cowboys in the face.
So SMU for you guys +4.
Oh yeah.
I like
with the backup quarterback. Backup quarterback. He's. I mean, you give him a week's worth of practice. He's going to be just as good as Preston Stone.
Yeah,
I think it's the Jennings as the quarterback.
Yeah, he'll be fine. The Tulane defense is very beatable. It's not. I'll take. Yeah, I love.
The line tells you, folks. I mean, it's not. We can sit here and talk why we kind of like it opened at 4.5 or 5. It's down to 3.5, and it's a backup quarterback. And a guy who left was pretty good. He threw for 30 touchdowns and 6 interceptions. And yet here a guy who has 7 passes on the year, whatever he's thrown for, and the line moves to him. All right, go run. You want to bet? Oh, it looks so easy. Okay. We'll see you next week and see how easy it was for everybody next Friday.
Yep. Tulane plays down to the competition. SMU gets one of the top teams in the country at getting pressure on the quarterback. The defense is good for SMU.
Moo's underrated. Very underrated.
Well, that was my team earlier, remember? I was like all over, but
they were our team all year.
Yeah,
they were our team.
All year they're our team.
All right, Smoo +4 is the pick. I like the under in this game with the backup quarterback in Tulane. not the best. They're laying 2-10 to the under, so 10 out of 12 times the game goes to the under. But the line has moved all the way down to 43.5 for the total, 47.5 for the total. You still like the under at that number?
I still like the under. I think I threw this in the midday money show as an under play.
Okay. I don't have an opinion on the total.
I would like I'll still take the under here. The line movement suggests the under. All right. The game of the week, huh?
Which one? There we go.
I was trying to think. I thought you were going to pull up like Army Navy for next week or something. Game. I was trying to think what other game there could be.
This is the big one. This is the one everyone's going to be watching.
Oh yeah, this is basically the preview of the college football championship. Pretty much.
What's our knock on Georgia? What do I text you about every time?
The best bet of the entire weekend, and I wish I can add this to my free plays. Here's just a bonus free play: Alabama to score first every week. Every week it seems like Georgia
starts 0-7.
They start the game 7-0, down
7 up.
It doesn't matter who they play, whether they play Georgia Tech or they played Ole Miss. They were down 7-0, and then Georgia's like, all right, hold my beer. Time to play. And then they just go boom. Next thing you know, it's 21-7.
Last year, Tuscaloosa, January 10th, 33-18, Georgia, Sean. You're all over Georgia minus 5.5.
The Alabama defense, and again, you got to be lucky and good sometimes. And he pulled out a whole lot of luck last week just to get a win and still keep their hopes alive for a playoff spot. But the defense, and this is why I kind of like the over here, because the Georgia offense, we talk about them scoring all the time. Like they started out bad, but then all of a sudden they're just putting 40s up. The two kind of good teams, LSU and Texas, who they played, scored against this team. Right? They put up sizable, decent points, 28, 30 points, whatever they put up. So why isn't Georgia going to do that here? This isn't vintage Alabama defense by any stretch of the means. Georgia's going to put up points on this squad. It's just that simple. And Alabama has shown an inability to get kind of stops when they have to. And you can't start it. They start out silver. They're down 20-0 in Tennessee. Yeah, okay, they came back 28 or whatever they scored in the second half to cover a 14-point spread, shut them out. But, different kind of animal here with a team that is 29-0. Georgia's 29-0, folks. And I think they won last year. Maybe I don't know. Are they any good? Have they won a championship, Georgia, lately?
I don't know. Last year, I think.
This offense is better than last year's offense.
Yeah.
So I read something that Nick Saban's undefeated in the Atlanta Dome or whatever it is, Mercedes-Benz Dome, whatever the hell it's called.
The Georgia Dome.
In Atlanta. Mm-hmm. He's like undefeated in Atlanta. But
this is his first loss.
The perfect example on the total here on the over is just like last week's Ohio State Michigan. Everybody was on the under. When those two teams play, doesn't matter how good the defenses are, touchdowns and points will be scored. It went over, just like I said. Yep. This week, take the over all over. When these two teams play, the defenses will show up at times, but big plays will happen and touchdowns will happen. And by the third, fourth quarter, these defenses are gassed. So it's going to come down to who's got a stronger offense, who doesn't turn the ball over. And you take the over, and I'm rolling with Georgia. I can't take Alabama.
Touchdown. First scored a game in Alabama touchdown is plus 185 at Bet Online.
There you go. I'm going to be on it. Yep. I don't have that option yet, but Alabama to score first, and then Georgia points, and you take the over. All three plays.
Yep. I'm totally with you on this one. Look, Alabama will be the best defense Georgia has faced all year.
Oh, yeah, right? By far. Yeah.
By far.
I agree.
But Georgia's defense is amazing, too. The pass defense is amazing. NFL players all over the secondary.
This will also be the best defense that Alabama plays. Exactly. So Milrose, he's gotten a lot. He's getting better and better every week. I mean, let's face it. From week 3 to now, two totally different quarterbacks.
Very well. Yep.
But once he faces Georgia's defense, he's going to be like, holy shit.
And Alabama will be helped, but their run game has gotten better this year.
Yeah.
Defensive line of Alabama is good too.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I got to stick with Georgia. I hate the fact that we're gonna be starting down 0-7, but I still like Georgia.
We'll see what happens. I mean,
And
I hope
every week they start 0-7. It's down 7 points, and then they come from behind.
Every time I look at my phone, I'm like, how the heck are they down? How are you down 7-0? And then I look at my phone again, 21-7. I'm like, oh, okay, never mind.
Yeah, and it hurts because every time you see that, because they're laying 24, and you're like, oh,
yeah,
here we go.
Yeah, but it's funny because by halftime they're up 2-3 touchdowns. So it's like, holy crap! Why do you do that every week? Give me a freaking heart attack.
Checking the scoreboard around college football right now. Oregon, I think, is starting pretty soon here, right?
Washington just scored. They're up 3-0.
3-0 Washington. New Mexico State and Liberty. We are looking at
I keep freezing.
2014 Liberty. About first half coming to a close.
They missed an extra point.
If they just scored, they didn't kick one.
Scored, Yep. Caden Salter pass, 26-yard pass to Noah Frith. So it looks like it'll be 21-14 Liberty. Let's see, Oregon and Washington. Oregon about to get the ball here. All right, so Big Ten championship. Michigan versus Iowa. My Hawkeyes about to get pounded. No offense. Good defense. Missing their best player on defense, though. And then Michigan just shut down Ohio State. Sean, Ohio State could not run against Michigan at all. Every gap was closed. Travion Henderson, good running back. They couldn't run the ball. It really made it tough for Ohio State to win that game. What's Iowa going to be able to do against Michigan? The Iowa first half team total is under a half a point or over a half a point.
They're going to get a field goal in the first half and a field goal in the second half.
Iowa team total first half over a half point. What do you think?
Iowa's good for one thing: pass interference penalties. That's it. And maybe an interception here and there.
How about a Michigan to win by 31 to 36 points is plus 550.
There you go. I like it. That's worth throwing a quarter unit on.
That's it. Just put a little something on that because I think it's going to be a blowout. I think it's a blowout.
I do too. I know my Hawkeyes.
I don't think so.
You hate the Hawkeyes.
I hate the Hawkeyes. I hate the offense. I detest the offense. But I'm telling you, Michigan, they just saw the best of Michigan last week. You're going to get disappointed this week because they already know they're going to win this game. They already know they're going to win. So the mentality is not like, we got to bring our A game. They're
walking in like, we don't care.
The adrenaline is not there like it was last week.
Like, who's after Iowa?
You're going to see a letdown Michigan this week. You're going to be like,
Michigan plays down to Iowa is what you're saying?
I'm not saying that. I'm saying you're not going to see that dominant Michigan team. They're going to give up about 10 points this weekend. And you're going to be like, holy crap, what happened to the defense from last week? I'm telling you, their Super Bowl was last week. This game, they're going in with the mentality of, we already know we're going to win. I mean, the whole country knows. Iowa knows they're going to lose, for fuck's sake. So when you got that mentality, you're not going to have that adrenaline, momentum, all that. These are kids. These are not professionals. They already know they're going to win.
Don't you think Harbaugh wants to blow this one out and stick it to the NCAA?
Absolutely. I mean, it's fine. Like, they know they're going to win. Last year, after they crushed Ohio State 45-20, they were 16-point favorites over Purdue and won that game by 23 points. At 17-point favorites.
Horrible. Purdue wasn't
Purdue's horrible. Iowa's team total is 6 or 5.
I know, but
so how is this team any worse than Purdue?
A defense. Iowa has a defense. That's the difference. Purdue does not have that defense.
They have a defense, and they're 22-point underdogs versus a team who was 16-point underdogs.
That's because Iowa has zero offense.
This is a rout. Listen, Harbaugh, they
Michigan
suspended
will
him.
Win 24-6.
40.
That's my bet.
40-6, and I get my cover on my 34.
Iowa covers.
You're out of your mind.
The whole country is going to be on Michigan. The books are going to be waving Iowa flags because
that's why the lines come down because people love Michigan so much. It's come down 2 points from
it's going towards Iowa, right? Yeah, it's down to 21.5 now.
21 and a hook. Yep, give me Iowa.
23.5.
You guys are all going to be like with your jaws down and your butt
way.
sore after Iowa covers this.
No way.
Okay.
No chance.
Michigan's got the mentality like the sky is falling.
When Iowa covers, I want to hear you guys apologize to me next week.
I will call you immediately.
I know you will.
Whatever. I might have to. Normally I don't ever send like tweets like "told you so." You might get one of those when it's it's 30-40 nothing at the half. I'm gonna be like, oh man, I should have said Michigan by 48 instead of 34.
I know my Hawkeyes
are gonna fly for Iowa to cover.
Yes, I'll say that tomorrow. The pigs will fly. GIF will come out. The little thing.
And I'm gonna have a full grown hair.
The
wig will come out tomorrow. There will be hair next Friday.
You remember the last time someone said this?
Yes. What game was that? The Bears game.
The Bears game.
Bears red. I'll take the Bears there. You're crazy.
What they have to do is the Iowa quarterback has to throw a pick deep in Michigan territory, and then they have to somehow, block a punt or something down in Michigan side and get a field goal.
You haven't watched Iowa games all year, Tooch. You don't know. There's one thing that Deacon Hill has on his side, and that's the referees. And you will understand pass interference penalties,
New Mexico somehow scored a touchdown with 10 seconds left.
Offside
10 seconds
penalties.
they scored a touchdown.
I'm telling you, I've watched enough Iowa games, unfortunately, this year. That's how pathetic my life is on a Saturday. That I know there's one thing that Iowa's good at. It's drawing penalties.
Did they run a kickoff back? There was 16 seconds left.
They must have ran the kickoff back.
Yeah, New Mexico State tied it.
On what, a kick return?
I have no idea. I just saw the notification.
There was 15 seconds left in a half.
I know.
Oh, even better. All right.
Over, never in doubt.
That's right. And
Washington's on the board 3-0.
I know. So far, I'm looking pretty.
All right. That's right.
How did they?
I want to watch. I want to watch Oregon.
I'll tell you right
these
now.
Guys.
All right, let's get to the NFL.
We still have to do NFL. Oh my god.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, you guys are just keep dragging it on. I'm like, let's go, keep going.
That was 1, 2, 3, 4 passes, and a touchdown.
Oh, wow. Yeah, all passes.
Wow, Diego Pavia, nice.
And these two teams. Oh, look at Washington's in on the red zone already. They're about to score again.
No shit.
But Oregon in a rout, right? Oregon in a rout. So let's just keep that in mind.
Yes.
I don't think I'm going to get my first half.
We're 10 minutes into the game. Here we go.
First half over ain't looking good for Tooch.
Oh,
over
the Tooch has already drawn himself a loss 5 minutes in the game.
Thanks, Tooch.
All right, come on, Tooch. On to the next game.
Louisville, Florida State. Louisville versus Kentucky looked terrible. Florida State playing with the backup quarterback, Jordan Travis out.
Third string quarterback now. Their backup is
who everyone hates and says is terrible.
They still have a defense. Florida State still has a defense, and I don't know. Listen, 5.5 to a pick. I don't know if I want to run to bet Louisville here. This is just a no play. I have the under. I think I took the under. I thought I took the under.
You have to take the under. Take the under now, because as soon as that backup quarterback is ruled out, you're going to have a freshman quarterback that has never taken a snap before versus Louisville, which they got a good pass rush.
They have a good defense.
Their pass defense is questionable, but their pass rush is very good. So that
the under's already come down a point.
Yeah, I would. I mean, if you're going to bet this game and you have to bet this game, you got to take the under. Forget about the side. Just take the under.
Yeah, I like the under here.
NFL, Lions, Saints. Everybody's all over the Lions -4.
Oh, yeah. Only 90% of the money.
90% of the
I don't hate this, though, believe it or not, though. And
Lions lost.
I agree.
It's our taste. Thanksgiving
the
Day
line
lost
open,
Packers.
It was 2.5. This was 2.5 on the opener. They get embarrassed on Thanksgiving, turn the ball over, look like total crap. It's Lions or nothing here. I get it. You want to hold your nose and take the Saints. The Saints have no offense.
The Saints have no run defense. The Saints have no run defense. The Lions are literally going to – all they have to do is pass the ball about 10 times and just run the ball the whole game, and they'll score about 40-some points.
This, to me, is just going with the better team off a bad loss.
I've
Bad
never
loss,
seen
extra rest.
Yeah.
Yep.
Motivated coach kind of nonsense.
The Saints are very injured, man. Long list of injuries for the Saints. Let's see.
Has anyone noticed their rush defense and how bad it is? They have if anyone watches the Saints past couple of weeks, their run defense is not existent.
Yeah.
Just take the Jamar Gibbs and Montgomery props over. I'm telling you, you will not be unhappy. Forget about the size.
Listen to who's out for this game for the Saints. Marshawn Lattimore, their best corner.
Yeah.
Michael Thomas out.
Yeah.
He hasn't played in 2 years.
Even
Cam
when
Jordan,
he does play, he only catches 2 or 3 passes.
Cam Jordan questionable. Foskey questionable. Marcus May is safety out. Rashid Shaheed out. Warner linebacker out. Very, very injured, man. I love the Lions in this one.
Yeah. They couldn't even score on the Falcons defense, and their Falcons defense. Here we go, Washington 10-0.
10-0 Washington. Damn.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yep.
I got a plus 20.
All dogs, man. Anthony was right. All dogs barking this week.
Here we go.
I'm telling you.
There's the kiss of death. We start talking. The game's already over here.
First
quarter.
You know it's bad when Sean Higgs takes all favorites on championship weekend. That's a red flag.
Sometimes I do take faves though.
Yeah, but all favorites? You're Mr. Dog.
Yeah, but I mean I
haven't heard one dog out of your mouth on college football.
And you're not. I don't like a lot of them. I did. I don't like them. I got SMU, but
yes, SMU.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I do like Florida State. Everybody's against Florida State. I like Florida State here.
Appalachian State.
I don't like
Troy down to 5 now. Appalachian State money coming in.
I got to go with Louisville. If the third stringer is playing, I got to go with
that line's down to Louisville plus 1.5.
Yeah, I'm telling you, the third stringer has never played before. It's
Michigan
a freshman quarterback.
22 now. Lines are moving all over the place.
The crazy thing with this game is that, say Florida State wins, and it's ugly, 19-16. They're not going to get a shot, and it's sad because it's not like it's because they should. They're undefeated out of the ACC. They should definitely get a shot because the defense is a legit defense.
It is.
But you can't. I mean, they're already listed as a 14, 15. I think a 17-point dog to somebody, maybe Michigan. 14 points to Georgia. They're double a 7 or 8 point dog to Texas or to Oregon. Yeah. You can't put them in. They're going to get run right out. I mean, we see Notre Dame was getting run out by 20 points with quarter. You can't. Sorry.
That's like putting one of us in a quarterback to play against Michigan. That's not fair.
And I hate saying that because that's not fair. When you have a team like Alabama, they barely won and they had their starting quarterback. Well, you lost and you had a starting quarterback. So how do you blame a team with a backup? That argument. But they pretty much made it clear that Florida State's not getting in.
I mean, if the backup was starting, I got to give him a bid because he didn't play that bad last week for his first game.
If they drop if they drop over 38, I think they should get in. All right, they put up points. But if they don't, if they got to get 38's got to be the minimum they put up to have a shot.
This freshman quarterback is going to have to come out and play like he's unbelievable for them to get in. Yeah. And he's never taken a snap in college football. That's the alarming part.
All right, Broncos, Texans, both teams 6-5. Both teams got playoff hopes, huh, Sean? The Broncos, written off, left for dead. They're suddenly back in it. They've won.
You give up 70
5 in a row. 5 in a row.
You give up 70. Nobody likes you. 5 in a row, and the loss before that was 19-8 or whatever to the Chiefs. The defense has turned it around. They're in games. And I was talking, and I was with Ross yesterday, and Ross is, well, look at the teams. They barely won. I'm like, Kansas City is a team with a defense. Kansas City is a defensive first team. The Packers have a defense. Then you go and play in Buffalo, and you pull out a miracle win there. So how many? They got 300 yards. How many teams are going up to Orchard Park and putting in 400-yard games? Yeah. Then the next thing you face Minnesota, who is on a red-hot streak.
Yep.
Right? And then Cleveland. Tough defensive team.
17-point win. They put up 29 on Cleveland's defense.
They've been getting a lot of turnovers. Listen, 3.5. I got to like the dog here. That extra hook. I got a Hall of Fame quarterback, Hall of Fame coach, and then I have the rookies on the other side.
Yep.
And last week I didn't like the Texans in that spot. Right, everybody was on. I'm like, they lost 15-13 to Carolina. They lost 19-17 to Atlanta. These guys could lose some bad. I don't dropping 38 and getting 500 yards of offense against the Bengals. Bengals defense is terrible. Tampa Bay on the road. Hey, you put up points. This is not. I'll lean Denver just because they're forcing turnovers at a crazy pace.
Yep.
But a half a point and a 3. I think it's worth a shot.
3.5.
Yeah.
Yep.
Going into last week, they had 8 turnovers in their previous 3 games. So I don't know how many they did last, but I think they got 2 last week. So that's 10 turnovers in 4 games. I love the Broncos here. I got to lock it in. Texans, I was on Jaguars last week. I got a lot of crap for it, but I mean, it was a bad spot for the Texans. The Jaguars were coming in a spot where it was time to win. And the only last thing you saw out of the Jaguars was them get destroyed by the Niners. But the Niners are in a league of their own. So you can't throw that game out the window. So Texans, they're going to be overmatched here. The only reason they're favored is because of the C.J. Stroud hype and them at home. Give me the Broncos at 3.5. And I like the Broncos money line. So Broncos all the way.
I like the Broncos too. 3.5. Love the number. I love what the Texans are doing over there.
They're banged up. That defense is banged up again. If you look at it, that secondary is banged up. Beginning of the year, they were strong. They were holding teams with under 20 points. But now that their secondary is a little injured, now they got the backups and they're giving up points. They're giving up those deep balls. And if you really watch a Texans game, C.J. Stroud relies on 2 big plays. One, the ball downfield. Pass interference, catches it. And 2, his legs. You cannot rely on the big pass consistently. And that was his problem last week. That was the only way he was able to score last week was 45-yard bombs, 50-yard bombs.
He made he extended the play really well. That's what C.J. Stroud's done all year. Hands down favorite to win Rookie of the Year.
Oh, by far. He's got a ton of talent. There's no doubt about it. But you can't rely on that type of winning. You can't rely.
Like Sean said, Hall of Fame coaching on the Broncos, Hall of Fame quarterback. You got Javonte Williams, Cortland Sutton. Good Denver defense has been playing very well since they gave up 70 to Miami. Playing.
I got them as my fantasy defense. Let me tell you, they have not disappointed in the past month.
Huh?
It doesn't matter who they play. So I got them playing this again this week, and a must-win week for me. So.
All right, so we're all on Denver plus 3.5. Big game coming up, 49ers and Eagles, man. Eagles favored on the road, Sean. Niners favored on the road.
Yeah.
2.5.
The line's 2.5 now? Are you sure?
2.5.
Well, it was 3 before, so.
I thought it was still 3. Wow. People are betting the Eagles? I'm impressed.
Well, why would you take the Eagles at plus 3? Hurts is freaking 20-2 as a starter.
That's what I'm saying. How are people not pounding the Niners here? Just because
they are pounding them. That's why they started as a 1-point dog. The Niners were an underdog to start, by the way. They were 1.5-point dogs.
Oh, wow.
So it's a 4-point line move.
Look,
wow.
Man.
It's Niners or nothing for me.
The Eagles have only lost a fluke game to the Jets, October 15th, 14-20 loss in New York.
Tooch, it's not a fluke loss. This is a team that barely won other games. You can't say they're fluke losses. This is what happens when you don't put teams away. You're in close games. In close games.
And since then, they've beaten 3 great teams, man. Dallas, Kansas City, and Buffalo.
And they got lucky.
Kansas City dropped a game-winning touchdown in the end zone. Yeah. Dallas, like Dallas does, just shoots themselves in the foot left and right against good teams.
And Buffalo gave it up at the end as well. But
Buffalo, that game was over. They should have lost to Buffalo. They gave a fluke game versus the Jets. I got to say a fluke game the other 7 wins they have.
I got to say that Dallas game, Dallas lost that game.
They had a rough time against the Commanders. Commanders twice.
The Cowboys had 1st and goal on the 3-yard line or 1 yard line and didn't get in.
Yeah.
So it was more the Cowboys losing that game more than the Eagles won that game. Eagles, they were gassed. I mean, they were huffing and puffing. I'm shocked that they even won that game. Shocked.
First quarter comes to an end. Oregon shut out by Washington.
That's a shocker to me.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, one team has a good defense. The other one doesn't have that good of a defense.
Yeah, I mean, I was expecting maybe a 7-7, 10-7 type first quarter.
What happened, though? Did we get a turnover? Like, how is that? What kind of offense would happen in Oregon? I mean,
I don't know.
Doing the show. I haven't watched a minute of it. So.
I haven't either. I'm just watching the telecast, but I didn't see it.
On.
Yeah. The line now, Washington -1.5, Oregon +1.5.
Yeah.
In game, if you're thinking of betting live. So 49ers -2.5. You guys like the Niners, huh?
Oh, yeah, of course. Oh, yeah.
Sean?
Hands down.
Yep.
All right. I like the over in that game. 49ers, Eagles, over 47.5. Chiefs, Packers, 6-point road favorite for the Chiefs. Packers playing a little bit better. They just went into Detroit and took care of business pretty easily against the Lions. I like, the way. How do you beat the Chiefs, Sean?
You make Mahomes throw it to the receivers. That's how you win. You stop the run game.
Shut down Travis Kelce.
You shut down the running game, and you force Mahomes to throw it to his receivers that can't get the ball. That's it.
I got it. 6.5. I mean, what do you think, Tooch? You got to like the Chiefs, right? Just going by touchdown.
I like the under in this game.
I like the Packers. I love the Packers. It's in Green Bay. Yep. The Packers got a great run defense, so they're going to stop Pacheco and the other two
it's an under either way because if Kansas City wins, it's going to be like 20-6, and people will be like, "Oh, Love's terrible." It's just an under. It's not a shootout by any stretch of the means.
Nope.
Under 42.5. All three of us here.
Hopefully, Aaron Jones comes back this weekend.
That's Sunday
That'll
night football in Lambeau Field. That brings us to the free plays, man. We're out of here. Sean's got basketball work to do, so
he's got a lot of homework.
You
got 268 games tomorrow.
Free plays, free plays, and dog of the day. Here we go. Right on, Anthony's free play. Steelers -6.5 versus the Cardinals at home. I like it.
Blowout. It's going to be a blowout.
It'll be an easy win for the Steelers. Sean, Steelers?
I like them.
Yep, me too.
I mean, Arizona's 2-17 in their last 19 games are terrible.
Sean likes the over in the SEC championship. I got to say, I like it too. 55.5. Michigan it's -22 now. I know my Hawkeyes. They have zero chance in this game. Yeah, not according to Anthony, but. And then our dog of the day, SMU.
5-6.
There's the record.
Are we 6-6 now?
Yeah. Hold on.
I was going to say, we got to 500, man.
Yeah, I know. You did 6-6. Yep. I didn't update.
You're just trying to win that free play record for
I had
the
a
season.
long week, man. Hold on. We all won our free plays last week.
Yep. It was just the dog of the day that lost, and Raiders just didn't give it in.
The dog of the day, the Raiders +9.5 could not.
Look at the Tooch. Look at him and his free plays, man.
Lucky.
Wait till college basketball starts.
I like this play. I'm gonna probably load up SMU +4.
Do it.
Got to do dogs. All right, fellas. Thanks again for being here, everybody. And we will see you later, Sean. You got working on some college basketball.
Why am I doing one? You guys don't do college basketball? There's only 100 games.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Come on.
We're going to be talking a lot of college basketball coming up. College football's over.
Yeah.
We'll do some hoops.
Bowl games.
Yep,
I won't be moving early on bowl games, though, man. So many guys moving. I can't move early.
Yep.
Yeah. Not like last year. Nope.
Sean, I'm a text away if you need some college basketball. Tip.
I'll just look at the biggest spread and then take it.
All right, fellas, for Anthony and Sean's Tooch, we will talk to you later. Thanks again, guys.
See you guys.
All right, bye-bye.